For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and let's talk about Friday the 13th, 2020. That's right, Friday the 13th, 2020. Now, according to the website, thedevilseyes.com, Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema executives, hot off of the enormous success of It, are already putting the wheels in motion to bring us a new Friday the 13th film. Now, of course, they have to wait to officially get back the rights to make a Friday the 13th film, which will happen January 1, 2018. Now, I'm sure you all are aware of the deal that Paramount Pictures made with Warner Brothers years ago. It was part of a deal they made over the distribution of Interstellar. But as part of that deal, Warner Brothers gave Paramount, of course, Paramount being the home of the first 8 Friday the 13th films. It was a studio that brought Friday the 13th to the big screen and established it as the juggernaut horror franchise that it is. Paramount got the rights back from Warner Brothers through this deal. They had a 5-year window to make as many Friday the 13th films as they possibly could, and of course they made a grand total of 0 Friday the 13th films in that time. They were going to finally rush one out at the very last minute, and that film was officially canned earlier this year in February. So Warner Brothers will get the rights back to Friday the 13th at the beginning of 2018, and according to this website, they are already looking to make another Friday the 13th film. Now, I don't know anything about this website. I've never heard of it before today, so I really can't vouch for it or for its source that gave them this information. But it doesn't take a genius to jump to the conclusion that Warner Brothers and New Line, hot off of the success of It, are going to look in-house at what other horror franchises they have. And of course, they have A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, the 2 biggest horror franchises of all time. So I'm sure they're licking their chops just thinking about all the cash that's going to come flowing in very, very soon, because horror is pretty hot right now. However, there are a couple of things that alarm me about this news. Number one is the fact that they are apparently going to wait to the year 2020 before they release the new Friday the 13th, and it will be another remake. So Friday the 13th will have been remade twice. Now, it kind of makes sense that they would want to cash in on the popularity of just horror in general at this point right now. The fact that the Friday the 13th video game has been a huge success as well. But the year 2020 is significant because that will mark the 40th anniversary of the original Friday the 13th. So you would think that accompanying a new movie, we would also get a 40th anniversary release of the original Friday the 13th, as well as quite possibly a 40th anniversary complete Blu-ray box set release of the entire series, which would be cool if they do it right, because we've seen them in the past do these box sets and just kind of throw them together and just not do them right. And of course, another remake. Now, if they handle the Friday the 13th remake the same way they handled It, if they put the project in the hands of a very capable filmmaker like Andy Muschietti, I'd be definitely on board. And maybe they're thinking 2020 is a good time to bring out the new Friday the 13th, because that would give them ample time to make a new Nightmare on Elm Street, which is also the rumor going around that New Line and Warner Brothers are wanting to hit us with a brand new Nightmare on Elm Street film. So I do think it's a pretty exciting time to be a horror fan. It was, again, a huge success, and it was actually a good horror movie. It was an R-rated horror movie, and it was a modestly budgeted horror movie. And I think if Warner Brothers and New Line can approach new Nightmare on Elm Street films and new Friday the 13th films the same way they approached it, horror fans could be happy, particularly an old school horror fan. After all the years of waiting and the disappointment after disappointment that we Friday the 13th fans have had to endure over the years, maybe we'll get a good Friday the 13th film in the near future. Maybe we'll get a good Nightmare on Elm Street film in the near future. Again, if Warner Brothers and New Line will handle those projects the same way they handled it, by putting the projects in the hands of capable filmmakers, keeping the budgets modest, keeping the ratings R, it could be a good time to be an old school horror fan. Maybe all the all the pain, all the disappointment, all the heartache that we've gone through over the years, particularly as Friday the 13th fans, will be worth it. Wouldn't that be something? I'll put a link to the Devil's Eyes article in the description. Go over, check it out. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments section below. Again, I can't vouch for the website. I've never heard of the website before today, but it does not take a genius to figure out that New Line and Warner Brothers are probably licking their chops right now, thinking, oh my goodness, we've got Freddy and Jason under the same roof. Jason coming in just a few short months, of course. And horror is hot. The money is just going to come rolling in. So let me know what you guys think. Is it going to be a good time to be a horror fan coming up in the next couple of years? Gosh, I really hope so. Are you... The pessimistic side in me and the optimistic side in me are constantly vying when it comes to any kind of news, positive news regarding Friday the 13th. So I'm trying to be really optimistic here and sort of, push the pessimist down as much as I can and try and be optimistic and hopeful about, we may actually get a good Friday the 13th movie in the very near future. We may actually get some more really good theatrical R-rated horror films released in the very near future. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.